He might not be from Krypton, but he's heads above the rest. His knowledge can't be questioned. You can put it to the test. So if you want to hear the truth and have nowhere else to go, I'll give you the solution. Just tune into his show and just kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod.
See, the way I figure it, I was born a little bit bad, a little bit brilliant, and a little bit mad. Welcome, everybody, to the Fans Zone. If you don't know where that quote is from, you have not watched the trailer yet. That was
pretty good.
That was like the best. I was channeling my inner British there. Everybody should see this trailer. Before I get to this trailer, I'm going to talk a lot about this because I can't believe Disney had the balls to go full. If you're going to release a movie like Cruella, and let's be real, there is no redeeming qualities about this character. So the way they open this, and
hold on. Do I have to be real? I was told in the last stream that we did that we're all fake.
Okay, well, yes, bots are super excited. But yes.
What did I do with my other device, man? I cannot see the chat at all. Where did it go?
But welcome, everybody. Let me open up with saying hi to everyone, and then I got something I got to talk about before we jump into this show. What up, Gary North? What up, Justice for Deb? Elizabeth Me. Donald Dolan, I know, was here. He had to go, but thank you, Donald. He said at Mr. Zod's Phantom Zone, I can't stay for the live stream as I have therapy on my back in 7 hours, but I wanted to send my sincere condolences to your family.
I know what that's like.
Oh yeah. I've had back injury too. That's not fun. Marina, hi, how are you? Who do we got? Who else? We got Diamond Knight. Diamond Knight was thought it was late and sleepy, but now I'm wide awake and full. Good for you, dude, Diamond Knight.
I was sleepy too, and I was like talking to my Twitter family, and I said, "Oh man, I almost fell asleep there." And they told me to go to Beth because that was my fault. Because, typos, it's supposed to say bed, but I said Beth. So that's what we say now. I was like, I can't do it. I got a show that I got to do at midnight, my time. She's like, no, you need to go to bed.
Jamie Vick just said something great. Hey, Jamie Vick said, just keep your fakeness real. I like that.
I got no problem keeping my fakeness real. My real fakeness.
Yes, Diamond Knight says 8 more subscribers. I know it's 1,000. It's been a crazy ride getting. I'm calling it the road to 1K, but
send this link to your cousin.
Yeah,
your cousin doesn't watch. Send it to your cousin.
So.
I didn't say which one. The one that doesn't watch. Send it to that cousin.
So I want to just get into something first. If you guys don't know, and I'm setting up the stream tomorrow, we are going to live stream my uncle's funeral. It's going to be at 12 p.m. Central Time. So I'm going to set up the thumbnail and stuff later today because we're back on midnight again time. So it's technically Thursday. I'm going to set it up to today, and I'm going to get that out to you. I know it's a sad event, but I want to turn this into something positive. I want my uncle, rest his soul where he's at, to see all of these people gather together because I want to give him the send-off that I feel like the WWE should have done, but instead reserved for someone like Pat Patterson. So I want all of you people to spread the word. I've already talked to some big content creators, and they're going to drop by. And not only that, but they're going to put this out because I feel like we should give him a proper send off. There was a lot of other stuff that was revealed about this whole thing, and I want to gather as many people as I can to show solidarity and support. And I'm sure my uncle, when he wanted us to get this message out to you guys, would have never expected that we'd be live streaming it and that he'd have people he never met who sincerely send their best wishes. And I think that's a powerful thing. I think it's the way that a platform should be used to honor someone who deserves it and to let them know that even though they never met you, they can see the kind of person you are, and we can celebrate that. And I think that's something special. What do you think, PB?
I think that I'm laying on the floor looking for my other device so I can see the chat. Where did it go?
As you can see, we're always prepared. So we're going to try to keep this one like an hour.
I thought that I had it right on me on the freaking chair, man. Like, what happened? You almost fall asleep for 10 minutes and you lose everything.
So
surprised
we're going to try
that I still have my mind.
Oh no, we lost that long ago. So we're going to try to keep this to like an hour or so. We only got 3 topics, but tonight the first one we're going to open with is Cruella, because I'm going through the reactions and things like that. And of course, I'm not going to play this. I got a link to it. You guys can check out the video and then come back and tell it and see, give us your thoughts and see what you think. But I'm going to let PB give you his, because then I'm going to give you yours. And I'm going to tell you right now, or mine. And I'm going to tell you right now. I'm the biggest
No, that was way better. PB is going to give you his thoughts, and then I will tell you what you should think. What a fucking villain. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm in the villain mode. We're talking about
don't worry about the facts. I will tell you what you need to believe.
Typical villain. And Stone Cold Jeremy says we need PB to keep Zod in check. If that wasn't a true statement, I don't know what is. Selena, what up? Good to see you here.
I'm gonna be down in that chat in a moment. I'm using my backup device now, damn it. Which is dead, Elizabeth, naturally.
Elizabeth, you hurt me with the channeling the KK. God help me, maybe. Disney, you might see me just jump to 1,000 when you'd be like, you see me with Mickey on my shoulder next week. You'd be like, oh, this is my man right here. What's up? I'm pushing. Yes, I will get to that, Diamond Knight. Yes, because she says at General Zod's Phantom Zone, normally a TV show like Once Upon a Time would have put the villains in the center of the story. Didn't expect Disney to do that with a whole movie. Yeah, this is the thing that gets me, is that this seems, and we're going to dive into it, and I'm going to kind of break it down because it's only a minute, and I've watched a trailer 5 times now.
So, 5 times. 5 times, you say. Before the stream started, everybody, full disclosure, he told me, I've watched it 4 times already. So he's already lying to me. He's telling you the truth. He's lying to me. 5 times already. It wasn't that great of a trailer, guy. It was okay.
I was watching it when you dropped and came back in. I watched it one more time.
Oh my God. I was gone for that long?
Yeah, about a minute 34.
Jesus. He's like,
Okay,
oh, he's
so
gone. Back to my trailer tab. Unbelievable.
so so let me ask your opinion first, and then I'll give you my view because mine's gonna be long.
Yeah, I bet.
So, what did you think? What kind of vibes did you get? And is it something that piques your interest?
Um, well, I don't know how many people here have been listening since we've been talking about Disney remakes. I would guess maybe half of them, maybe less. If they, I know Stone Cold Jeremy, if he's still here, he remembers. I can't see the chat yet. Gary, know if he would remember. And there's Jamie Vick, she'd remember. I am not intrigued by a Disney remake. Are you kidding me? It could look like the greatest movie of all time. And then you say, oh, yeah, they're remaking one of their classic 90s cartoons. And I'd be like, oh, so I don't have to see it then. That's wonderful. That's great. Now, if it's not a remake, if it's an origin story, which I don't know, it might be. I'm still on the fence about that. It's real close. I couldn't quite tell from how short the trailer was what points they're going to cover. Because I don't know if it's going to go all the way through the 101 Dalmatians or if it's just going to butt up to it. Because do you see any of the dogs in the trailer? I don't remember seeing any of the dogs in the trailer.
No, I saw the three ones, but it looked like they were just off to the side for a bit. So I don't know if those are the original dogs or if those are just why she hates dogs. I don't know. But when she walks into the room and sets the dress on fire, there was the dogs off to the side barking. But I didn't
Okay.
see. But it doesn't look like a remake. It looks like a straight up Origins, which I can get down with that. And not look, I like the original Maleficent, but I got swindled into that. I did. I was
Swindled.
told I was swindled by Disney. I was told we were gonna see Maleficent, right? Doing bad shit, turning into a dragon, and maybe eating people or something. I don't know. I'm the villain. I
Oh
had
my
villain
God.
dogs. And no, we did not get any of that. We got I don't even know. I don't remember. I was so disappointed. And then don't even get me started on number two. Um, it was a very disappointing thing. But with this, I was like, when I got done, I'm like, who is this marketed for? Because I feel like this is not made for kids whatsoever. But so
I
let
can
me just
see the chat now, and Jamie Vick says, you saw the three ones? What does that mean? The three dogs, right? You mean three
I saw
dogs?
the three dogs in the corner barking, but they aren't the original dogs. So I don't know if they belong to someone, and that's kind of where she got the dog. Because remember, in 101 Dalmatians, she's got the dog coat on, and she wants to use puppies. So I don't know if that was like the big like this movie might get
Well,
really
that's only because
dark.
they make the softest stuff ever.
Like I feel like Disney is trying to give a middle finger to DC, and if they might be able to be the ones to pull this off, uh, just based and look, this is trailer number one, but just based on how marketing is everything. First impression is everything, and this thing's got so much buzz around it. And all of you people are going, oh, Harley Quinn and Joker. Look, I'm a fan of DC. I'm a fan of Joker. I would say this is closer to Harley Quinn, but newsflash: this guy worked with Margot Robbie on the design for Harley Quinn. So it doesn't surprise me that the aesthetics is a lot like that. This guy was an executive producer or has some kind of executive producing credits on the original Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. So, or he wasn't on Birds of Prey, but he gave some input from how I understand it. So the fact that the aesthetics are very DC, that makes a lot of sense. Stone Cold Jerry said, not that excited for a Cruella origin story. I think it's going to shock a lot of people.
I mean, okay, if you took her name out of it and it was just like a regular movie trailer from anybody, it doesn't have to be from Disney. I don't care who it's from at that point. And you just watched it through, I would be more intrigued than I am knowing the character, because I know where the character is going to end up. And I'm very skeptical of Disney, especially when they take one of their animated characters and they want to turn them live action. Tell me how many times, as Stevie would put it, they've taken any of their animated characters, and when they've brought them into live action, they still have soul. I can't tell you because I haven't watched any of them.
That's the thing. But they've, in the trailer, like the trailer for Maleficent was very deceiving, but the second one, we already knew the jig was up. So that one, I kind of already knew where it was going. This one, though, the trailer is very like, it is not Disney-esque whatsoever, right from the beginning, and that laugh. And let's highlight something, okay? I've got two biases going here. I love anything that will give me the Joker-esque vibe.
Dude, he's trying to highlight something. Shut up.
But I love Emma Stone. I absolutely positively have loved and treasured anything Emma Stone has done. When she pulled out that act.
Oh, you're out here simping. Now I get it.
I'm not gonna lie. I was totally, but I mean, let me just ask you, PB, if say we go with your analogy, right? And you had no idea this was a Disney product. When you heard her talk, knowing you've seen 101 Dalmatians, right? Would you not automatically associate that's Cruella? Because when she talked and did that laugh, I said, holy shit, like she nailed it like 1,000%.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty iconic laugh. I would say so. And I didn't even, let's say, overwatch 101 Dalmatians the way that I overwatched The Lion King and Aladdin and some of the more high-profile animated movies from the 90s.
Yeah,
dude, so stop barking. Nobody cares about your plight. Shut up.
Like, you know, like hearing that voice and that iconic laugh and like shit is burning and stuff. And this is the most interesting thing. Everything they highlighted is the criminal aspect. And I want to know, like, okay, this is supposed to be like the 70s or something like that, or the 80s, right? And you know, she's doing all this shit, which I assume is not fantastic, because remember, Cruella doesn't live in a fantastical kind of setting like most Disney characters. That's what made her so unique. She's like real world. Like she was getting away with stuff because she's rich and in the fashion industry. I think at the time it was kind of a statement to the fashion industry. So, like, she stole a car. She stole that
Right.
car.
A statement to the fashion industry that she's a fucking psycho.
Basically, she says in the trailer, she says, most would call me a psychopath or something like that. I'm like, Disney is really going like this director too. I started reading up some interviews after I saw the trailer whilst I was on shift, and I was like, this dude is not messing around. Like I seen his movie credits.
Are you
Like,
are you reading these comments, guy?
yeah, I was. They think PB is practicing for auditions. Dalmatians, Revenge of the
No,
Bloodfest.
I'm not practicing. The dog is. You putz.
South Florida Drifter says, now I have to tweet out my Cruella Halloween costume. Yeah, I think this movie has the potential to be a dark, gritty thing, and Disney can finally see that you can do dark shit, and there's a market for it. DC did it. Joker was a smash hit, and that wasn't even Warner Bros. They did not back that whatsoever. That was all Todd Phillips, and he proved you can make $1 billion going in a dark direction. Now, this isn't going to be a Disney R-rated film, but it's PG-13, and she had a bottle of liquor looking like she was drunk walking through the thing, and I was like, I think they're really going to pack it. I think they're really going.
Could you? Ha! That's what you get, dog. You stupid dog. You bark and bark at nothing because the other dog doesn't want to play with you, dumbass, because you're an asshole, and then you go to jump on the bed and you missed. Hilarious. Sorry, I got a little distracted by stupidity. What was that?
But yeah, I think this could open the door for them going in a darker direction. And Jamie Vick does have a point. But why do we keep on going back to the same old stuff over and over? I won't look. I'm not going to disagree with it. I've said it
the answer to that is Disney is afraid that they're not going to be able to make money off the stuff they produce. And they know that they will make money off of stuff that you have name recognition with. Whether it's the actual name, taking it one for one like The Lion King, or taking a character out of the movie like Cruella. Like everybody knows that name from the movie. Do you know any of the other characters' names off the top of your head from that movie?
Pogo? I remember that was the dog's name because I like dogs.
Well, I didn't.
And I know that what was her two goons? That was the other concern too, is she has two goons, and the two male goons. Now, in the movies, they're bungling idiots, but there's a fine line now because you're doing live action. So if they make the only two males bungling idiots, you see what's going to happen, right?
I mean,
you know what's gonna.
Why can't they be bungling idiots? Like everybody loved Home Alone.
Yeah.
Those two guys are not geniuses. Nobody was bitching and crying about, oh my God, they're just making white men look terrible. Wait a second. You need your henchmen villains to be these geniuses that never make any mistakes? If that's how they were set up, they wouldn't be henchmen. They would be Lex Luthor.
Jamie Vick says, I'm a cat person. And she said, the Joker had a familiar name and character, but the story was in a new way. And that's what struck me. The story looks new. It looks like she did terrible stuff and somehow ended in the fashion industry. And I got to say, I'm curious as to, one, how is she not arrested yet? Because the way that she's even narrating this was she comes out the gate saying she's crazy and she's a bad person, right? So
I
she's had
mean, there's all
have done some
types
bad
of
shit up in the
crazy and bad people out there that you can't arrest them just because they're crazy, just because they're bad people doesn't make what they're doing illegal. Like, if you could just be going around arresting people for being bad people, oh my God. You think the prison system has a problem now? Crikey.
we'd have like a Minority Report situation. But yeah, I gotta say, for me personally, I liked. First of all, I think Emma Stone is a great, and not only that, but they also have Emma Thompson too, who's a great actress. They have Glenn Close as executive producer, and I don't like her politics.
Okay, so it is The Devil Wears Prada.
As a matter of fact, Emma Thompson said she took some inspiration from the character, but the bad character in The Devil Wears Prada. She took some inspiration from that, and she was working
Well, I
closely.
didn't think that they were going to take inspiration from the, I guess, good character in The Devil Wears Prada for Cruella. What?
Yeah, and this is what a lot of people are comparing it to too, because Diamond Knight says the only thing I liked is Disney's WandaVision, nothing else. And I think they're seeing that people like WandaVision and that you can do something a little bit more edgier, and people, will
You
watch
think
it.
that WandaVision is edgy?
For Marvel? Yeah, that's a lot more edgy. That's the edgiest thing I've seen the Marvel Cinematic Universe pull besides
I don't
Doctor
think
Strange.
we're watching the same show.
Oh yeah, think about Marvel in general, right? Up to Infinity War, they've all had the same template, the same kind of setup, right?
Oh, no. Lies. Stop telling people that.
100%
Mr.
true.
DC shill? Oh, yeah, the exact same template. All 20 movies were exactly the same. When you watch Winter Soldier, you get all the same vibes as when you watch Ant-Man. Do you have any idea how ridiculous all of you people sound every time you make that same fucking point over and over and over? There is maybe a handful of movies that are similar here, a handful of movies that are similar there. Like, you think that Doctor Strange is the same as Iron Man 2?
No, I said Doctor Strange and WandaVision to me were the most unique out of the catalog that stand out. And Winter Soldier purely because of the violence. I was shocked because those hand-to-hand combat scenes, I was like, holy crap, Marvel is actually going for it, because Cap gets stabbed. Like, Nick Fury gets killed. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, they blew up someone in Marvel? Look at yes, the Winter Soldier was unique, but let's be real. Out of all of them, you can kind of see the mold. I'm not saying they're all the same, but I'm saying that there's kind of a template and a way that they construct these films. And I'm not saying it's bad. It works for them. But what I'm saying is it kind of pigeonholes the series until you get to like Infinity War, and then they just shatter it completely. And even Ant-Man was unique. But like I was saying, there's only a couple of movies you could pick out and say, oh, this did something unique from the other ones. I don't even want to get into Thor: The Dark World. That thing was abysmal.
Right. Let's not get into it, because you will be thoroughly rebuked. Yeah, I would assume that you wouldn't want to get into it.
Marvel,
like, even inside of their own trilogies, the movies aren't the same. Unbelievable. This guy here. Like, okay, yeah, you look at Iron Man, excellent origin story. And then you look at Iron Man 2 and you go, oh, well, that's how we're progressing the character forward, because we're advancing the technology. And then Iron Man 3, what is that? Greatest Christmas movie of all time. Yeah, exactly the same as Iron Man, the original. Exactly the same. What? And yeah, Ragnarok, exactly the same as the Dark World. I get the
Whoa, whoa,
exact
whoa.
same vibe from those two movies.
I've always said
Unbelievable.
Ragnarok was different. I always defended Thor Ragnarok, and people,
How
what was
many
funny?
movies? Okay, people, that's the third time he said it now. That's the third movie where he goes, well, this one's a little different. How many other times are you going to say this one's a little different? There's 20 fucking movies, guy.
No, Lemon Pie, don't give him any ground. Don't give him any ground. My name is Mr. Zod. What product do you think I'm going to defend?
No, you can go ahead and defend your Warner Brothers. That doesn't mean that you have to impugn the quality reputation of the MCU. Maybe just don't give any more money to Zack Snyder.
Speaking of which, when is Kevin sending your check? You're between the two of us.
He
We should
keeps
have
on telling me it's in the mail, so I just keep going to the mailbox every day, and I go, oh, not today.
But I think we could both agree, though, that this definitely is the most unique that we've seen. I mean, we could agree on that, right?
Okay, I can agree on that. It does have a very specific look to it. I would say it does one of the best jobs of taking an animated character and bringing them to life exactly how you would expect. Because I thought for a second, I was like, oh, well, they're going to take her character and they're going to make her like a prim and proper person. And then you see her there with the hair all over the place and crazy. And I was like, yep, that's exactly how it was in 101 Dalmatians. Exactly what I was expecting.
And I got to ask, what did you think of the laugh?
I mean, like I said before, when I heard it, you knew exactly who the character was. You wouldn't have even had to put the title on the screen. And what I wish they would have done is used that for an original teaser. Like what happened to doing these 5-second teasers? Didn't companies used to do that? Where you didn't know anything was coming at all, and then they just released this little blurb and people had to figure out what it was, and they're like, oh, I think it sounds like this, I think it sounds like that, and then you finally come to the consensus because the internet is one giant brain with all of us out here, and then you go, oh, apparently it was Cruella laughing. What the hell are they doing with that? And then everyone can be outraged for a month until they come out with the actual trailer. And then you go, wow, it actually looks pretty good, but I'm going to stick by what I've always stuck by. It's a Disney remake, and I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm I'll definitely be checking it out, and maybe
you watch it, and you can tell all these people why they don't have to watch it. Because I only have one reason. Like, I am not going to be the person who supports that. I do not support remake culture. So the only type of remake culture that I support, apparently, is horror movies. And I look at those as more of a reimagining. Whereas, especially with the Disney remakes, like Lion King, they're like, hey, we're going to take it shot for shot, but people expect something new, so we're just going to add some scenes for no fucking reason.
That's why I'm not really finicky about things like this. I don't mind them taking a character and doing an origins, because I don't consider that a remake. I consider that an explanation on shit we never got in the movie, if they do it right. And I think that just based off of what I've seen, I'm very now intrigued to find out what the origins is, especially they showed that one close up where she had that olive thing, but she had the like little like pin or whatever. Like, is she gonna stab someone with that? Like, my mind is just going off because of the way that they set everything up and the fact that they
I
are
mean,
like,
best case scenario, she's gonna stab a dog with it,
oh
right?
God. Could you imagine the
Dude,
outrage if she just goes
there's
for it?
not gonna be any animal violence in this movie. Disney doesn't have those balls.
Oh my God, if they went there, I'd give them kudos for being ballsy, but you know Disney doesn't want any of that. Could you imagine the
oh,
backlash? Oh
oh,
my God.
sorry. I didn't mean to laugh over what you were saying, but I read Lemon Pie's comment. Can you put it on
I did
screen,
too.
please?
Yeah.
Lemon Pie says, origin is dog pooped in her yard.
And she went and took that dog out. And then
And
John
she's
Wick
like, you
comes.
know what I have to say about that? Not a fucking thing. I will say nothing. It's a call to action.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yes,
you know,
Elizabeth. I agree with that. CGI makes a huge difference in remaking horror. Yes, I agree. It's phenomenal. Because when you see something from back in the day that is supposed to be a good looking CGI character, but it's not, it's terrible. I was like, oh, yeah, this is some sci fi level stuff that I'm supposed to laugh at the entire time, not something that's actually supposed to get my heart pounding and I'm supposed to be afraid that if I look at the window, I'm going to see a monster out there.
oh, speaking of laughing at, do you want to laugh at someone's ridiculous Twitter? And people who have followed this channel knows that we've talked about this person and their ridiculous Twitter because they've defended the person that we all love, who's the bestest ever, Amber Heard. And what do we got? Stephen
You gotta
King.
work on your impersonation, though, guy. It's the bestest ever.
Stephen King is once again back in the spotlight because he just can't keep his mouth shut. And one of the most offensive tweets I've ever read. Anybody who lives in Texas, you are going to be so pissed off because this
What
man.
is he talking about? Jews?
Oh no, it's pretty bad. Twitter calls out Stephen King for shameful tweets about Texas winter crisis. This fucking guy. And I'm sorry, I can't see the chat while I'm in the article, so if I don't get to you, I'll get to you
Hold
eventually.
on. So, I haven't read any of this. I told you that I wanted to go into it blind. And now that you read the headline to me, I'm going to make one guess about what it's about. And it's going to be something along the lines of a bunch of people decided to move to Texas, and those are the people that are causing the climate change crisis, so they're getting what they deserved.
No, it's worse than that. And
oh my God, it's worse than that?
not only is it worse than that, but it's also unfactual on what he quotes as his reason. Wait until you guys hear this. It's so ridiculous. Fiction author, writer Stephen King's reaction to the real life horrors that Texas is grappling with in the wake of a fatal historical winter storm is not sitting well with anyone online. So it doesn't matter what people's leanings are. He got bashed for this comment, which means King, how you piss off both sides and they unite to equally call you an asshole is astonishing. This tweet brought people who hate each other together to call him a dick. Millions of Texans have been without access to constant energy and water this week following Sunday's snowfall, and winter weather. The storm has claimed more than 30 lives thus far. As national attention begins to pivot to Texas days after the initial impact, celebrities are starting to react on their Twitter platforms. Chrissy Teigen asked how to help. Okay. Former President Barack Obama directed followers to resources. And then comes King, who hit send on a snarky tweet blaming Texas voters for their misery. He says, and I quote, "Hey, Texas, keep voting for officials who don't believe in climate change and support polarizing of the power grid. Maybe 4 years you can vote Trump again. He believes in the latter, but not the former. Just perfect."
Oh my God.
Why?
I don't know anybody, left, right, center, up, down, that doesn't believe in climate change. The question is the effect that man has on climate change and what you want to do to curb it. Because if you listen to the climate czar, I mean, we're back to that now, yay. John Kerry, he goes, oh, well, you know, for me to go around the globe fighting man-made climate change, because that's what he says, you know, I'm fighting this man-made climate change. The only way for someone as important as me to get around is by private jet. And if you do carbon offsets, then you're good. Then I'm not going to be shamed for using my private jet. And I was like, you've got to be effing kidding me. If you believe that this is actually a thing, you have to live it, guy. Get on and fly commercial with everybody else. You don't have to fly private. Second point, and the more important point, carbon offsets literally do nothing. It is the government collecting money. And you know what they do with that money? They don't take carbon out of the atmosphere.
Now, here's the thing about this. There were at least 20 responses. I was not going to read them all. And I went back through and I hit the people's profiles. These are not people who at all agree with each other's political leanings. But the amount of visceral that he got for this tweet, 30 people so far that we know of, and Father Zod lives there, he says there's a lot more, have died. And this man sends out a tweet blaming everybody for it and saying basically, well, you get what you get. And I'm like, guy, wasn't someone different? First off, someone different was voted in. Secondly, you tell people that they are dying because they voted. How do you know who people in Texas voted for? I am positive with all the people who live in Texas that not all of them voted for Trump. So you're saying that even the people who voted for the person you wanted deserve to be suffering with no power and electricity, and that's the reason why this is happening to them? Or could it be that shit happens in nature? That this is, now it makes sense to me why this man defended Amanda Heard.
Did you just say Amanda?
I'm sorry, Father Zod's running off on me. I meant Amber Heard. Hashtag Amanda Heard, she'll be confused. This is so insensitive. And yet, we booted Gina Carano, and this man
Well, you
literally.
you can't make Nazi and Jew analogies relative to the political climate today if you're on the right. You can if you're on the left and you're showing how Trump is executing the Obama policies. It's very confusing, right? Very, very confusing. Something that Joe Biden built. Who built the cages, Joe? Like, ask Pedro Pascal. Pedro, do you know who built that cage that you're tweeting out? And he'd say, oh, the orange man built it. And I'd be like, nah, the orange man was just following the previous man's policy. And you know who helped him craft that? Mr. Squinty-eyed Joe himself.
And here's the thing that's most astonishing about this is that people on both sides united. Just think about in our political climate, people, and I don't care what way you lean, we all agreed. This is the most insensitive. This is a comment so insensitive. It united two people at war, two parties, two ideas, even people in the middle of it. United us all to say, you're a dick. Like,
right? Couldn't have done a better job than Trump or Joe.
Yeah, if we were looking for, please, Hollywood, if you want to reunite this fractured country, can we have more people saying stupid statements like this? Because we can all unite together and go, what a prick. You just said to all those poor people who lost people, it was their fault. You pissed off people so monumentally that you united them despite their political ideologies. You managed to unite the people in anger. I guess well done. That was a great humanitarian effort. He just united everybody in being pissed off. Thank you, Stephen King.
Well, yeah, that's because Elizabeth Me says that is because 90% of us are moderate. And I get that feeling more and more. Like, I have a friend that comes over to the house, and I always feel like I'm farther to the right, being a conservative. And then he comes over to the house and starts talking, and I go, son of a bitch, I'm a fucking centrist, like right down the fucking middle. Like, you're crazy, guy.
Elizabeth had a great point and said, okay, so New Orleans is to blame in the aftermath for Katrina. They knew 10 years the infrastructure needed to be fixed and refused and asked FEMA in. That is King's argument?
Yep.
No,
he can only make relatively decent arguments when he argues against himself, which is why he is a fiction writer, not a non-fiction writer. He tried doing some non-fiction. He couldn't even make it the length of a tweet.
And Shalyn says, why would you make a stupid comment like that? So cool. Jeremy says, it's no longer kids in cages, it's kids in overflow facilities.
Oh, my mistake. I'm using all the wrong terms. I haven't been reprogrammed since the 21st to get all of my terms right. I'll have to circle back to it. Hopefully everybody gets that joke.
Lemon Pie says, because if we vote for Democrats, magically storms will occur again.
Dude, okay, so in Green Bay, the talk radio station, whoever the president is at the time, they hire somebody to say a bunch of hilarious stuff in their voice. So they already brought somebody in to say some Joe Biden stuff. And the whole freaking little bit ends with him saying, "Nah, man, what I'm saying is I'm going to end winter."
Shalana
Because
says,
he's fighting climate change, so he's going to end winter.
"You all have my cat monetized at Mr. Zod's Phantom Zone." And then, cancel you? I hope not.
Cancel who?
Who knows? They've been trying to cancel me before I got monetized, so it's not going to be anything different when I get monetized. And I say when because it's just a matter of time. So I had to bring this up, pop culture. I mean, what else can we say? I mean, that tweet really speaks for itself. I mean, there's not enough heckling we could have ever done to this man that would do justification for how stupid and asinine that statement is. There is not a joke. I challenge you, sir, to make a better joke than that tweet was. Because it was comic. It wasn't true. It was comedic, though. It was funny as hell.
I mean, it's amazing how I can only imagine, because I don't live in that mindset of how widely loved he thought this tweet was going to be. Like, he put it out there and was like, yeah, people are gonna get behind this. No, man, people are never going to get behind you saying, yeah, people deserve to suffer. What the hell?
And he is a big author, right? Yep.
He might be the biggest one alive at the moment.
He's a person who's been, before the New York Times bestseller list was rigged, and I'll tell you it's rigged. I might do a video on it, but there's a way they boost sales now. It's not what it was. He was a man who, when they just said his novel was coming out, you knew it was going to be sold out. Number one, every story he made from the 80s damn near to like 2000 and something was a bestseller. But then as time went on and he started, I don't know, getting more into the delusion of his writing, he just went off the freaking deep end. I mean, he's got years over what J.K. Rowling's been spitting, and she's been going off the deep end since, my God, the last Harry Potter film. She hasn't said anything that has been a coherent thought. King has her beat by like years. He's been saying wacky shit and getting into so much trouble before. The worst thing King did was create a Twitter account for himself. Because before he'd just say something in an interview and go, "Oh, that's just Nutty King." Glaze over that. I'll go watch the movie. But now he's got a social platform. Some people just shouldn't have a Twitter. Some people, whoever are these people's representatives or whatever, to just look at them and go, I don't think you need to get on social media. I think you need to never get on a social account. You need to just keep your thoughts in your books and stop tweeting.
Well, those aren't, I don't think those are his thoughts per se, are they? I mean, is he all of his characters? I feel like that's a weird way to look at an author, because if that's the case, they all need to be locked up because you never know when they're going to lose it.
No, he's been writing. If you look at even his earlier books, he's kind of had this anti-government, anti-establishment kind of vibe for years. And in the 70s and 80s, it played well because, you know, that's kind of the time period. But now he's gone beyond
Oh,
what's
so
even
I
left.
was gonna say, so he's
He's
always been a hippie, but now he's trying to use his platform for some hippie activism.
like like we're talking so far out that even people who are that far out are like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Can we get back to Orange Man is bad? Like, that's
Did you read this comment yet?
let me read it. It says Stephen King needs about 50, 60 pages of a book to set up a story, so maybe he needed several pages to set up his tweet.
Oh, for sure. For sure. If he would have did a thread that, I don't know what he'd have to link, 70 or 80 of them for pages, 'cause you only get what, 280 characters or something? I don't remember what it is. It's not a lot. So you're gonna have to link several, shit, it might be hundreds of tweets together in order to set this one up, and it'd be like, okay, now that you have the backstory, it's okay that these people suffer. Nope, still not okay, guy.
It wasn't hiring Amanda for a part. Well, I didn't realize how committed he was, to be fair. Stephen King has been, okay, let me give you some backstory. Stephen King was the first person that inspired me to
You
actually want to
realize
read
that was
books.
her making fun of you, right? Because she
Yeah,
said
I know.
Amanda.
I know.
That's
You know how I
hilarious,
do it.
guy.
I just call
Hilarious.
him
Like, you're a person that covers it now. You can't get her name wrong. Like, either get it right or do what Stevie does and be like, one who shall not be named in an Australian accent.
No, I don't have the accent. Johnny's girl says Stephen King allowed AH to be in a show based on his book, and he hired her even though he knew about her abusing Johnny. I mean, there were some pretty big indicators, like when he came on Twitter and defended her. I got to say that was one of the most disappointing days. But this right here is such a disappointing day for me. This, as a lifelong Stephen King fan, this is the biggest hit to the proverbial fandom zone testicles I have received thus far. And I've been getting some pretty big ones recently.
Wait. Hold on. He came out on some social media, I assume it was Twitter, and defended her on a personal basis?
He defended her. Yeah, he defended her talking about, and I did it on this show. I read out the comment. He defended her about how she brings such a presence to the role and she's just as charming. He did the same thing Zack Snyder did when he was like, oh, she just mesmerizes you on screen and stuff. And I'm like, what is it about you people that see? What are they seeing?
Okay, hold on. If that's all he said was that she can mesmerize people on the screen, that has nothing to do with her personal character at all. And that's actually something that I could halfway get on board with, because that's the only thing that I've ever said about her. And I've never seen anybody refute this individual fact. Like, I haven't watched a wide variety of Amber Heard movies, but in Aquaman, she is quality eye candy. Now, I know that there's going to be a bunch of people out there that say, yeah, but I know what kind of person that she is, so I can't look at her like that. And that's not the way that my eyeballs work.
Yeah.
I don't look at stuff like that. Like, what? Okay, taking it to a lesser degree, when I look at Brie Larson, I don't see annoyance. I just see a person. Like
No,
when
see, I
I
see a
when I
nuance.
hear the things that she says, I gotta wait for her to lie, and then I go, "This crazy fucking bitch! She's in the courtroom telling lies. Unbelievable!" But
Yeah.
to look at somebody on the silver screen and be like, "Oh, you doused her in water. That looks kind of hot." I can divorce that from their personal life and how they are, how shall I put this, a terrible fucking person.
And Tiffany Daniels, good night. Thank you. Go check her out too if you haven't
Thanks for
checked her
being
out.
here, Tiffany.
Yeah, she's amazing. Uh, Jalena's really trying to trip me up. Brie isn't as bad as Amanda.
No,
Yeah,
she's not.
no, not by a long shot. I can
She's
deal.
she's she's quite obviously not. Like
You know what?
she's a wacky person compared to, I mean, I can't say it enough. I know that Father Zod said I'm supposed to watch it, but she's a terrible fucking person. Like you don't see Brie Larson out there left and right lying about somebody to, I don't know, make herself feel better, make herself feel like a victim. I don't know the purpose of it exactly, because who could ever know what's going on in her fucking brain? My God.
I know it's quite a that she's an interesting case study in the mind of someone who's manipulative and abusive. Because let's face it, we got the facts. She abused him, so she's a manipulator and an abuser. And to see it in action is quite astonishing. It's like anybody who's a psychologist should be watching her when she does these things in court and stuff like that, because it is textbook manipulation and abuse, and how abusers change around facts and things like that. They and try to control. Look at how she tries to control everything around her. It's a study case, is what she is in action. And I can understand what you're saying, divorcing yourself from the screen, but there comes a point for me when you hear too much stuff out there, and you go, it gets harder for you to separate the person because of how horrendous they are versus the character, because now we all had no clue how truly terrible she was until after Aquaman, and that worked well for Warner Bros. But then after that, it's just like you got people realizing who this person is, and it's destroying the cinematic filter we get, right? Because in a movie,
Hold on.
it's all Hollywood
Oh,
and
sorry.
glamour.
I didn't mean to cut you off. There's a
No, no,
question
keep
I have to
going.
answer in the chat. Jamie Vick says, "Isn't Brie that really smelly cheese?" And I would say yes. It is a French cheese, but it comes in two ample handfuls at chest height.
Fun cheese fact. Fun cheese fact. Angela
It
says,
didn't used to, but now it's packaged that way.
so I mean, yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Stephen King is nuts. I'm just gonna say it. Everyone can agree. Everyone apparently has, right, left, center. He's nuts. No one's co-signing this statement. You're a horrible person, Stephen King. Get off of Twitter. Press the delete button. Get off of social media. Uh, Continue. Maybe take a page from George R. Martin. Just go on vacation, say you're going to do a book, and have it out there for like the next 20 years until you die, and then it'll finally be done. Like make an epic, and then stop in the middle of it. So all of us Game of Thrones fans who want a real good ending can wait for until we're 60 years old for your book to come out. I'm talking to you, George R. R. Martin. When's the book coming? I've been waiting for it. When's the Song of Fire and Ice? I'm waiting for it, George. Where is it? Where's the book? Where's the book, George? I see you on Twitter.
Dude, it's done. It's been done for years. And he's like, if I release this book, people will forget about me.
George,
I swear to God. I know from talking to a Norwegian, that I know that's a little Canadian, but whatever. Norwegians are weird people. Anyways, the books are more complicated to write, which means they take a little longer. But I've still done the math. It should have been done already.
Could you just imagine? Could you just imagine if Tolkien waited to release Return of the King later, and he was just like, I'm gonna wait until the end of my life. You guys are gonna be stuck wondering if Frodo made it up the damn mountain because we've been traveling. 2 Towers leaves off on a cliffhanger. Could you just imagine if he just had us all wait, and then on his deathbed, he's like, oh yeah, I've had the manuscript done for like 10 years. Do you know how pissed people would be?
No, man, they'd be fine. They'd be fine. They'd be like, oh, we've been expecting this for years. Or it'd be more like, why?
Yes, I did read the article, and you know what? I'm going to do something on that article. As a matter of fact, thank you for reminding me. Maybe we'll talk about it this Saturday because it was a very interesting article, and PB, I'll link you the article so you can read it and tell me what you think. But yeah, I think I'll do that on Saturday. Thank you for reminding me. I've been getting so many DMs; it's hard for me to keep track of everything, and I put stuff off to the side.
Ooh, aren't we popular, mister? Did you hit 1K? I know we haven't had the biggest audience tonight, but they've been wonderful. But usually you still add 1 or 2 people when we start a stream or run a stream for whatever reason. I don't know how YouTube works. I'm not a bot.
Apparently we are, but we do have one more article that's not from bots, and this article is going to.
No, you didn't answer my question, guy. What? I asked you if you hit 1,000 because you were 8 away. What is the number?
To be continued. I can't find out while I'm in this, or it'll kick me.
Okay, I will look. Unbelievable.
So while he's looking, we are going to talk about Tim Burton. This is from Vulture.
Still 8 away.
Still 8 away.
None of your cousins subscribed yet. Send this link to your cousins.
So Tim Burton is sending Wednesday Addams to school. In news that the hot topics, even the Cruella trailer that came out, Netflix announced today, Wednesday will have you know that Tim Burton is making his directorial TV debut with the series based on Wednesday Addams, called, of course, Wednesday. This is a live-action coming-of-age comedy that will follow Wednesday of the Addams family through her high school years as a student in Nevermore Academy, where she attempts to master her emerging psychic ability, thwart a monstrous killing spree, and that has terrorized the local town, and solve
Whoa. Oh, sorry. You said a monstrous killing spree. Is that like a lot of people or people getting killed by monsters?
No, I think it's just a killing spree that's killing a lot of people that are terrorizing the local town. And
so like one person?
Who knows? They hype these things up. It's going to that will embroil her parents that embroiled her parents 25 years ago. Burton will executive produce the 8-episode series, which does not have much more of the cast announced. Between the chilling adventures of Sabrina, Faint the Winx saga, which I have to do a review on because it was fabulous, and this
Oh my God! Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh yeah, it was great. And this
Oh my
Netflix is really
God.
carving out
Unbelievable.
girls at
You know that's
dark.
made for little girls, right?
No, it is not. It
Okay.
is not. That show, dude, in like the season final, they kill like 5 people. This lady who I thought was gonna live gets her neck, back, and everything folded up, and she gets crushed and thrown into a grave. Like this is not. This is not the Winx Club I remember. Dude, I was like, okay, so I go into this. I was gonna
Okay.
I was gonna let my daughter watch this, and I start watching it, and I go, wait, this is not. And I get 3 episodes in, and I go, holy
This is the one on Netflix?
This is the one on Netflix, dude. There's cursing, there's orgies, I mean,
Okay, because I don't know, man. I seen is like what? When did it come out? Like a week ago or something?
Yep.
Because I had Netflix come on, and it was like the first or second suggestion, so I didn't know what it was. So I let that little trailer play out, and I was like, "Huh, this is not made for me." But apparently, it was made for my ever masculine host here, Mr. Zod. He's like, no, don't worry about it. It's real hardcore. They kill old ladies.
Like, yeah, dude. Not only that, man. People get stabbed. People get set on fire. I was like, dude, I grew up with the Winx Club, right? And I'm watching this, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, yep, Selena, same thing. I started watching Sabrina, right? 90s Sabrina. I'm like talking cat. I'm expecting, no, there's devil worship, there's orgies, there's blood sacrifices. I'm like, oh my God, Netflix, you're really going for it. And then I did some research, and I read the Chilling Adventures comic book, and I go, oh, now it makes sense. There was a comic that ABC adapted, and they looked at the material, and they were like, nah, we're ABC family. We can't put this shit on. So they completely changed everything. So the Netflix show is actually closer to the original comic because it was part of the Archie's dark comic run, where it was a dark universe with the Archie characters. So yeah, that show, I was like, if it wasn't for the politics they threw in there, I would have been a little bit more on board because, Netflix. But Winx, they did not throw in politics. It was like, I watched it, and I was like, from the first episode on, I was just like, oh, I got to see how this ends. And even the powers were all dark, and they had like consequences, and I was like, damn. And then like this one had this power that I thought was all cutesy, and then I find out where they get the power from, and the mother is like,
okay. So you watched all of this. How many episodes is this show?
like 6. And you can get through it in under.
It's only 6 episodes, and they're an hour long.
Yeah, give or take.
Okay, so you apparently totally in love with this show. Did you watch Motherland?
No, or yes, that's the one with the witches, right?
Yep.
Yep, I watched that show.
Okay, so how does it compare to that show?
I'd say it would be the same kind of vibe, but with fairies.
Well, how am I supposed to think that it's more hardcore when that's how you're selling it to me. What? Like, yeah, it's just like this witches show, except with fairies.
Well, okay, here's the
Like
thing.
they took Tinkerbell and they made her full size. Yeah, totally hardcore, man. Get on board.
Basically picture if little fairies, right, were actual people and they had all of the powers, but instead of doing like, oh, we're gonna go and do some fairy shit. I don't know what fairies do. Sprinkle a little magic dust. I only
Don't
had to look
lie.
at the
Don't
weapons.
lie. You know what fairies do. Don't fucking lie.
You know what? I see where you're going with this. Anyways, just imagine if you're coming in thinking, oh, this is gonna be a cutesy show, and then all of a sudden it starts off with like you get this main character, and she's at this school because she lit her parents' room on fire with her powers because she had an argument with them, and her powers are directly controlled into emotions. So keep in mind, anyone who's a parent, this is a teenage girl with fire powers. Okay, I don't need to say anymore. And she got pissed off during an argument and lit her parents' room on fire and burned half of her half of her parent, like her mom's, half of her arm and like the side of her is burnt. They don't really show her face, but you can kind of see some scars. And they don't know what happened until a certain point, but she does. And then this school recruits her, and then you find out that all these people have like powers, and there's wizards, there's witches, there's the fairies, and then there's these dark creatures called the like burnt ones, and they are from sacrificed children with fairy blood, like a fairy lineage. They sacrifice these kids to create these monsters. So it gets dark. Like at the end,
I thought that dark creatures were called perp-minded.
Yeah, when you get to the end of this, just watch an episode and you'll see what I mean. Like the very first episode, you're like, oh my God, like this is not what I expected. And I watched the old cartoon. So when I watched the cartoon, it got darker mid-season, but it had like, a whimsical kind of feel. And so I put this show on, and right from the beginning, I'm like, oh, wow, what's going on? It starts off with someone being hunted in the woods and brutally murdered. And they don't even tell you this is like fairies. They just this teenager running, and all of a sudden they get.
Oh, so you thought that they killed a human, and you were like, yep. Oh my God, that's terrible. And then you were like, oh wait, it was just a fairy.
And we have the rookie critic. What up, rookie? Rook's in here. Good to see you, man.
Like you know his name. You could say his name. Son of a bitch. Oh, I thought that I got kicked out again. You went totally silent.
Just messing with you. Yeah.
Oh my God. I had to let the dog out, and I was like, oh God, I hope I don't get kicked out letting this freaking dog outside because he's got to go on the leash because he's a douche. Anyway.
Okay, so knowing all that, because we got detoured by my love for fairies, you know what? Zod has layers. Anyways, totally deterred off of that. A Wednesday show by Tim Burton. Here's my question for everybody in the chat and for you, Mr. PB. Do you think that Johnny Depp is in this and they haven't said anything yet?
I mean, that would be wonderful. That would be all kinds of wonderful. Like I don't know what the hell he's doing actively. Does anybody know what he's doing actively?
Well,
like who's out there stalking him right now?
The rumors is he wanted to play Adam Gomez. Now this is
I know.
Wednesday. But how crazy would it be if they have to show the parents, right? Even if they have a small role. How crazy.
I mean, do they have to show? Whoa. Hold on, guy. Hold on. You say they have to show the parents even if it's a small role. May I remind you, how often do they show the parents in Cow and Chicken?
Fair point.
You literally see feet and knees and nothing else.
But in live action, especially if they have depth, I think what Netflix will do is
Is
they'll
make a
release.
shit ton of money off of this? Yes, I agree.
Oh yeah, they definitely will. But I think they're not going to say that he's in it. He'll be like a guest star, and I think that he's going to make an appearance somewhere in the show.
Oh, okay.
They're going to play, because if you look, when they put out-
Interesting. So, go ahead, and then I'll say what I was gonna say. I won't forget.
So when they put out the cast list, right, they only tell you the main actors, but what they never tell you is, until you watch the episode, and sometimes they don't put it in the beginning, they'll put it at the end, the special guest stars. And if they're playing it up like it's Wednesday's show, right, she'll be the title credit, who's ever playing her, who's ever playing the mother, because I'm sure they're going to have the mother more up front and center. But what I can see them doing is keeping them as a special guest.
Now you got me thinking of a different analogy, and I'll have to go back to what I was thinking before with the guest star part, except that the last time that I could think of having a big movie star, and obviously not as big as Johnny Depp, but still a big movie star in a TV show, who was that? He's playing the dad, and the mom is also a movie star. And you have no idea who the title character is, because she's a relatively new actress. Stargirl.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because
you knew everybody in that show beforehand.
Yeah.
But if, like you say, it's not going to be a permanent role and he's just going to be in a guest spot or something like that, I could see them playing it up that he's always like busy doing something, right? Because he's always got little projects going on. That's what Gomez was always doing, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so he's always got his little like side project going on. So he's always like just in the other room. And then you finally get to, the penultimate episode, and he comes into the room and boom, Johnny fucking Depp.
Oh, if they wanted to blow this thing into the stratosphere, they could do that. And I hear people going, he's going on tour, he's got blonde hair. But here's the thing, people, when they shoot a show, it's not the same as a movie. He can shoot an episode, get into character wherever he's at. He could fly down, Burton can call him up and be like, hey, I'm going to drop a bomb. And then they can segue it maybe when it inevitably goes crazy, right? Because they'll get a season 2. Easy. They automatically sign for like 3 seasons. He'll be like, hey, man, I'm going to star you more in season 3. But I have this idea, right? He calls him up and be like, I just need you to come, fly down here, shoot for a day, right? For the, like, say, season final, right? And you have him shoot for like 5 minutes. It could be like a Luke Skywalker thing that they did in The Mandalorian, right? Because all they did was have Hamill get CGI'd. That was it. It was his body frame just CGI'd a younger face. So that took Hamill, 5 minutes? For the
I don't know. I mean, if Zack Snyder was doing that, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It would have cost fucking $20 million.
So could you just imagine? Just think about that, folks. How crazy would it be if we just get like glimpses of Gomez in the background, or you hear his voice saying something, and then final episode, Wednesday needs some advice or something like that, and she's gonna go talk to her dad, and then bam, it's Johnny. How crazy do you think the internet would go if? And I think Netflix they want to compete with Disney. This would be the biggest middle finger to Disney I could think of. if they scooped up Johnny Depp and they were like, yeah, he's a guest spot in season 1, but you know.
No, I don't know the thing, guy. You're gonna have to finish your thought. Are you kidding me? Okay, hold on. But we really loved how you played the role, and we want you to be in a lot more episodes, and we think it'll get more people to watch. Is that where you were going?
Yes.
Oh my God, you're so transparent.
But I mean, yeah, I think literally the internet would burn down.
And you're supposed to be the movie critic here, and I'm just a talking head?
Elizabeth Me says, yes, just answer PB's question. What was your question that I didn't answer? Because there's a lot of them I don't.
Oh, God. I asked a question? Oh, my gosh. Which question? I don't remember which question now. I was away from the keyboard because I had to let the friggin' dogs out.
And yeah, here's the thing. Said, didn't they say Burton said he wasn't going to do it without Depp? So now that they're saying it's definitely happening, it makes me, oh yeah, what was Depp doing?
Oh yeah, what he's actively doing.
From what I hear from the chat, he's got plans to go on tour with his band. He's in the Bahamas and still blonde hair. I got from that, and then
because an actor has never worn a wig before. He's got blonde hair. He can't be Gomez. I love that.
I know. The conversation takes me, love.
Oh my God. Oh, getting hassled on the live stream. What's the problem, Zod?
There's only one thing more powerful than a villain, and that's a bitchy unicorn.
No comment.
Shalina says Johnny is to Gomez Addams as Amelia Estevez is to Coach Gordon Bombay. Yep. The picture
Wait a second. I mean, when did Johnny play Gomez?
He didn't originally. It was Julia. Oh man, I gotta look it up. But he passed away.
No, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know if I can agree with that analogy, being that the one actor hasn't played that role before, and the other one played the role for 3 movies. Stop fucking playing on my legs, you assholes! Go away from me! You have the rest of the house to play! Unbelievable!
I think that there are certain rules that are I seen the photo, DI for Depp. I've seen the photo of him. I think that he would fit this role very well. I think that I'm going to watch this show because I have a feeling. Thank you. Julian. Thank you.
I'll watch this before I watch your fairies.
You will watch the fairies. I'm gonna get you to watch at least one episode. Chalet says John Aston is Gomez, but Johnny fits the part now of Gomez, which that makes sense. So, I mean, there's a lot to think about. We covered a lot. We have the first article we talked about was just what we thought of Cruella, and that's a mixed bag.
It wasn't an article. We talked about the trailer and didn't show.
I swear, I did not kick PB. He just uh, not yeah, I did not kick PB. Yeah, I think he would be an awesome Gomez. PB faded, he'll be back. Um, but yeah, I think that this role is a good role for him. I can see him playing him. I don't know how how it'll play out. Welcome back.
Unbelievable. What was the last thing I said?
I don't know. You just cut off very abruptly.
Oh, I said YouTube's a finicky bitch. Apparently, so is StreamYard. You mother. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, we talked about the Cruella trailer. We talked about Stephen King and his wacky statements. If you guys don't know, apparently because people voted, they deserve to be dying out there. That's just the Cliff Notes. He said they deserve what was brought on them, and maybe if they had some officials who took climate change seriously,
Maybe
they
don't
would
be climate deniers.
Stephen King, get off social media, King, please. If you want to keep whatever
Keep your
credibility you
writing on your typewriter, guy.
have,
That's what he needs to do. Completely regress. You cannot get tweet updates on your typewriter. Doesn't happen.
no, you need to stay off of social media. And of course, with this, we got a lot of people saying Johnny would embody the role. He would do a good job with it. I think he'd do a good job. I'm telling you, mark my words on this day, 1:31 on Thursday morning. JD will appear at the end of this show. I'm telling you, I just got that feeling.
Oh,
Netflix
you think he's gonna appear at the very, very end?
I think they're gonna save it and he's gonna appear at the ending.
Interesting. I could see that playing out that way too.
Because
Oh man, you know what? Okay. So everybody knows how the Addams family starts, right?
mm-hmm.
At the end of the intro. No. At the end of the intro, they all get together for the picture.
Yep.
That'll be the last scene of the season.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You kind of need everybody facing the camera for that.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Yeah, if they don't show the picture, then I'm going to assume the last bomb they'll drop will be Johnny Depp at the end. And then they'll announce like, "Oh, we're doing the Addams Family series." I can see that because the internet will literally go crazy.
Right?
The internet will break. We won't
have
even
all
be able
the
to
hashtags going.
Oh my God. Do you know how big of a middle finger they would give Disney for that? Like, because Disney kicked Johnny Depp off. And they're at war. Netflix hates Disney. Do you know how mad? Because now they were talking with Tim Burton, and if Tim Burton just signed with Netflix and he's not gonna do a movie with Warner Bros. Anymore or any of these guys, and he just drops JD on Netflix, oh my God, that will be one of the biggest power plays that I've ever seen. That would I will just go out and say, I will say it right now. That will be a game changer. You know when they say, "Oh, this network dropped the game changing," that will be Netflix's game changer. Netflix, if you're out there, if you watch Zod, do this. Drop JD at the end. Your stocks are going to go through the roof. I'm going to tell you right now. People will go nuts. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, they need to do that so that they can raise enough money from, I don't know, whatever deal MGM has for this, that they can make some more Stargate.
Oh yeah, do you know?
I'm
And
selfish.
WB too, and WB too, Mr. Zod. Yes, and they said no matter what, Johnny needs to have these trials finished and get back to his career. AH needs to be in jail and or a mental hospital or both, and never work in Hollywood again. We
I
can only
mean,
hope for
okay,
him.
if she needs an income, she apparently, for whatever reason, I don't understand it, still has a whole bunch of fans out there. So, okay, there's enough ridiculous sons of bitches out there that just give her a reality show and just let all of her fans be like, "Oh my God, she's so wonderful," and be like, "Okay, yeah, you just can't say nothing about Johnny Depp on your show because it'll be a lie," because that's all she does.
Yeah, and here's the amazing thing. We did that show last week. We had to kick 2 people out of our show who were defending her. So they're out there. They're out there. Like, I couldn't believe it. I had 2 real-life Amber defenders in my comments. It was like saying stuff that didn't make sense. Like, what proof? And we said the proof. And they're like, what proof? And I'm like, I just told you that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, did you not listen to what we said? Because this isn't speculation.
It's like we could say things, but these are facts. They're based with knowledge and evidence and paperwork and documents. We didn't just pull this out from sources. My raccoons did not dig this up. This was from real life
Right,
source.
you like I said, okay, it's my opinion that when you're up there giving your testimony, you wouldn't get confused by the truth. So why is it that every other paragraph she's got to be like, wait a second, I got to go back and see what I said before? What? Like, how about you just, or you could just say what happened and then we could just move on. Oh, because if you said what happened as the truth, then we could move on with actual reality instead of some weird alternate reality that she's trying to get us to believe exists. I don't know where, like, maybe she honestly believes it. I don't fucking know. But when you can't remember your story, I'm never going to believe you. Like, it can't be that traumatic when you were beating the hell out of him that you can't remember it.
That's the best way to put it. I don't know how else we can cap things off. So it's been a great night. Thank you everybody for watching. I mean, I can't believe we started with like 9 people and we're now ending with 16. So thank you everybody. I really appreciate you guys for coming out. Get your speculation out and tell
You
me.
can call it the random stream. You could have called it the random stream because, I mean, we stole it from Perp because Perp was going to stream. And then he's like, no stream tonight. And then I said, boo this man. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. He's the only black guy we have in the group. But then we all laughed at that comment.
But thank you guys for watching. For everyone who's still here, don't forget this Friday at noon, we're going to have a special live stream here in the fandom zone.
What?
And it is going to be, I'm going to live stream my uncle's funeral for what happened. So
Wait, noon central?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to live stream that. Sandy, sorry you missed it. You can go back through and listen to the ridiculousness. There was a lot of it. Not the beginning. I co-signed Cruella. The rest of it, use your own judgment. But anyways, definitely check that out. And I will be back with my normal shenanigans on Friday nights. Saturday, Saturday, it's going to be a tough one, but we are going to talk about some issues regarding suicide and different factors and
Oh
how.
God, you're gonna have me on that show?
Yeah, it's gonna be a heavy one, but we're going to also link
Okay,
prevention
well, I'm
hotline.
still making jokes, man. People still need a laugh, even when they're talking about a serious subject. So, good times.
We're going to hit that issue, and we're also going to talk
Your
about
dad's gonna call me inappropriate.
yes. But yeah, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to also talk about some other things regarding what happened that will fit more on that stream. So we're going to do that Saturday, and lay out some things that people out there really need to know. They really need to have the information, because there's some things that go along with it where people can get blamed for their actions. And we also want to get out too that there are some extenuating circumstances that causes these things, and that uh, everybody at times gets to a low point. And if you need someone to talk to, uh, that you reach out to whoever. And, that goes for anyone in the chat. You all know my DM. If you follow me on Twitter, you can DM me anytime, or you can DM anyone here anytime. But I want to be able to reach out to people, because a lot of these things need to be addressed, and this is going to be something I'm going to be personally uh, dealing with, trying to help people. I don't want something to happen to someone like what happened to my uncle. I want to reach out to other people, even if they come here and they get a laugh, and I'm the reason why their day is brighter. This is what our platform should be used for. Is what content creators should do. We should try to do some good on our platforms and help people who need it, even if it's just making you guys laugh with jokes we say for an hour or two. I think that could be the most important thing, knowing that I'm keeping someone's life bright, and that,
Like,
I'm
okay,
helping monk.
I feel like you misspoke when you said earlier the information about suicide. Like, the information about suicide would be like where to get quality rope, where to purchase ammunition, because you can't find it nowadays. I think what you meant to say was suicide prevention.
Absolutely. Yes, we're going to do
Okay.
the suicide prevention, like the info to get. And I have this person following me who was giving me stats for the UK, and it was pretty astonishing. So I'm going to have their link there for people in the UK, a link here for the US, because I think this is a topic that people need to be made aware of, because despite us being in 2021, there's still feelings from people about a lack of information, which astonishes me. I mean, isn't that shocking that in this age, there's still so many people who don't have the resources available, or feel like they don't have people to talk to about stuff? I mean, that's crazy. I don't know about you. I mean, it's crazy that
I
people don't
mean,
have this stuff available to them.
I don't know. Some people, they get stuck in their own routines. There's way too many reasons out there to be given general statements for why people don't have information that we feel is readily available when we are internet capable. Like, not everybody is internet literate the way that we are. And it's not like we are the best coded bots around.
Exactly. Meowcat says prevention being the key word. I absolutely agree. Preventing. preventing these things from happening. Elizabeth Me just gave me something so I can see. I'm learning this as I go because I've started studying up on this because, you know, it hit me at home. So, and
Villain studies saving people. What the hell?
it's a crazy world we're living in. Elizabeth Me says so much is shut down or don't have info on changes. Exactly. These people, you know, don't have these resources available to them, and it's very disturbing. Jamie Vick says, I had a saying, to have a friend, be a friend. It's a great point. Stone Cold Jeremy says, I'm a part of a Facebook group for veterans that helps each other and talk to each other about the loneliness, suicide prevention. Exactly. And if you guys have anything you want me to put into this stream, you have any numbers, any contacts, different groups, DM me this information. Let me know. Send me it all. I'll link it into my description before Saturday's stream. This is really important. I want all of your voices to be out there. I want to have all of this information available so that I can be best equipped to help people who might tune into this, who might watch it later, and be able to help them out. Because I see how important this is, and it's kind of staggering.
You're still talking about the prevention, right? So you don't want me to send you the link to the Home Depot for rope?
No.
Okay, good.
Not the Depot link. We're going to.
You can pull a car with this stuff.
Yeah, like I want to get the proper information out to people because I think that we need to do our best now to help out whoever we can. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please go check out the Cruella trailer. I linked it in the description.
Oh, what a professional!
Yeah, I linked it in the description so you guys can check it out. And then go ahead and leave me comments on the video to let me know what you thought of it and what you do. So, give me your opinions. And, as always, man, there's only one rule here in the fandom zone. Kneel before Stephen King.
Oh my God. Nah, man, it's too hot.
Darkness before